Nothing truly prepares a family for the kind of absence that never ends. The kind where there is no body to bury, no final goodbye, no place to leave flowers. For some families, grief does not come with closure. It comes with unanswered questions that stretch on for years, sometimes decades. This is one of those stories. At 7:11 in the morning on March 16, 2012, 15-year-old Sierra LaMar sent what would become her final confirmed message. It was a simple text to a friend, talking about homework and makeup, the kind of everyday conversation that fills the lives of teenagers. 14 minutes later, her school bus arrived at its usual stop near the intersection of Palm Avenue and Doty Avenue in Morgan Hill, California. Sierra never boarded that bus. What followed was one of the largest and most sustained search efforts in California history. Tens of thousands of hours spent walking fields, draining reservoirs, flying helicopters, and following every possible lead. Yet, more than a decade later, Sierra LaMar has never been found. Sierra was born on October 19, 1996, in Fremont, California. By all accounts, she was a vibrant and social teenager. She was involved in cheerleading, surrounded by close friends, and deeply connected to the life she had built. Like many teens, her friends were her world. They were in every photo, every memory, every moment that mattered. But in October of 2011, her life was forced into sudden change. A court ruling required Sierra to move full-time with her mother, Marlene, to Morgan Hill. The move came after disturbing revelations involving Sierra's father, who had been arrested for inappropriate behavior involving one or more of her friends. Marlene made the decision to leave Fremont behind, hoping to protect her daughter and begin again somewhere new. For Sierra, the move was devastating. 35 miles may seem insignificant to adults, but to a 15-year-old, it meant leaving behind her identity, her friendships, and her sense of belonging. She tried to adjust. She joined cheerleading at her new school, made new acquaintances, and did what she could to move forward. But those close to her knew she was unhappy. She missed her old life deeply and talked about wanting to return, even if only in passing. On the morning of March 16th, nothing appeared unusual. Sierra's mother checked on her shortly after 6 in the morning. Sierra was awake and preparing for school. Marlene gave her $5 for lunch, told her she loved her, and left for work. Those words would be the last she ever spoke to her daughter. Shortly before 7, Marlene sent Sierra a message reminding her to wipe down the bathtub and asking if she planned to meet a friend after school. Sierra never replied. At 7:11, she texted a friend instead. That message confirmed something critical. Sierra was planning to go to school. She was not running away. She was simply heading into another ordinary day. Her bus stop was less than half a mile from her home. She typically left around 10 minutes past 7 to make it on time. Investigators believe that is exactly what she did. But surveillance footage from the school bus later confirmed that Sierra never boarded. In that narrow window of just 14 minutes, on a quiet rural road with no cameras and no witnesses, Sierra LaMar vanished. When Marlene finished work that afternoon, she called her daughter repeatedly. There was no answer. By early evening, panic set in. The school confirmed Sierra had never attended class that day. A missing person report was filed, and a search began almost immediately. Sierra's family never stopped hoping. The community refused to let her name fade. In May of 2017, a jury found Garcia Torres guilty. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Sierra's body has never been recovered. Her mother would later say that justice brought no peace, only the knowledge that another family might be spared the same pain. Across the country, in a small Texas town, another family would come to know a different version of the same nightmare. On December 27, 2010, 13-year-old Haley Dunn disappeared from Colorado City, Texas. She had spent Christmas full of excitement and laughter. By the following morning, she was gone. At first, her disappearance was dismissed as a runaway, but those closest to her knew that explanation did not fit. Haley left behind her phone, her purse, and the belongings she never went anywhere without. Suspicion quickly centered on her mother's boyfriend, Sean Atkins. His timeline was inconsistent. His statements changed. Phone records contradicted his account of where he had been on the day Haley vanished. As the investigation unfolded, disturbing details emerged. Haley had told friends and family she was afraid of him. She did not feel safe in her own home. Despite intense public scrutiny, years passed with no arrest. In 2013, hikers discovered remains near a local lake. They belonged to Haley Dunn. She had been gone for more than 2 years. Even then, the case stalled. Evidence was contested. Critical decisions were questioned. Years passed again. Finally, more than a decade after Haley disappeared, Sean Atkins was arrested and charged with her murder. The arrest brought hope, but it did not last. In 2023, the charges were dismissed without prejudice, leaving the case unresolved once again. 2 girls, 2 families, 2 communities forever changed. Sierra LaMar and Haley Dunn were not statistics. They were daughters, friends, teenagers, with futures stolen by violence. One case ended with a conviction, but no remains. The other ended with remains, but no lasting resolution. These stories matter because they remind us what persistence looks like. They show us the cost of silence, the importance of evidence, and the responsibility we all share to remember the victims, not the perpetrators. At Disturbed Intent, we tell these stories not for shock, but for truth, for memory, for accountability. If this documentary moved you, leave your thoughts in the comments. Like the video to help others find it. And subscribe to Disturbed Intent for more in-depth true crime stories told with care, respect, and purpose. Somewhere, answers still exist. And as long as these stories are told, the search is not over.